It goes without saying that YouTube's been a little stale lately with the copied thumbnails, the copied video ideas, and even this contrived storytelling, and a lot of people agree it's time for a shift. The website that we've come to know and love needs to usher in a new era of content, but not new people, because that would be really cringe. And by really cringe, I mean the big players of YouTube would rather do anything than let new people take the spotlight. And authenticity is also cringe. So, because like some of you know, I am literally the YouTube algorithm, I've come up with some foolproof content ideas to get the big YouTubers back on their feet and strengthen the iron grip they have on the youth. This video might seem like I'm roasting some of the heavy hitters of the platform, and to that I say, anyway, on to the video. Let's ride the high of recent events and start with none other than the problem child, Jake Paul. Since Jake Paul's been making millions boxing people who remember the invention of sliced bread, I think it's time to kick it up a notch. If he really wants to be viewed as a boxer and not some pay-to-win influencer that he currently is, then I think he needs to fight the GOAT. I believe, Jake, that for your content idea, you should use your amassed wealth to enlist the help of many smart people and create a time machine. That way, you can fight Muhammad Ali. And honestly, the plan is really simple. I'll lay it out for you right now. You step into that time machine, you go a little bit into the future so that Muhammad Ali has remained dead for a little longer than he is right now, and when you finally think it's safe, you can step on into that ring and fight him. Good luck, my boy, you're welcome. On a slightly related note though, I've had this thought recently, and this is no shade to either of them, but Jake Paul for some reason reminds me of JoJo Siwa. And I can't really explain why, but now that I've put you onto it, I'm sure you can maybe see this. And if you can't, let me know. But that's a perfect segue into our next YouTuber, JoJo Siwa, who I know next to nothing about. But what I do know a lot about is rebranding. And also everything else. As you know, first she did the kid-friendly thing, and then she did that sexy thing that no one ever really talks about or wants to think about. So the question is obviously, what's next? The natural evolutionary course from there is obviously, and say it with me, stealing other people's shorts and posting them as your own. JoJo, trust me, it'll make you a lot of money, it'll get you a lot of subscribers, just ask Jason Derulo himself. Like actually, this is what he does. We are now going to check this out. Like check this out, we go onto a private page and we search Jason Derulo on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel with 39.4 million subs. Yeah, he's a musician, he's a talented guy. If we go to shorts and we take a look at what Mr. Derulo does himself. The fourth dog gives me the chills. Anything else? Street Fighter calls out boxer. This doesn't look like Jason to me, man. He makes the short content that like people just brain rot off of. I don't know, man. It's just so funny to me. Yeah, so this really had nothing to do with JoJo Siwa, huh? But hey, I mean, if Jason Derulo is doing it, you can do it too, girly, and I'm supportive. I think you should get that bag. Next up, let's talk about PewDiePie. I think Felix should try not losing subscribers. 110 from 111 million? Loser. That is the worst sub count to have. It's even worse than 38,000. For real though, PewDiePie is definitely in YouTube heaven, and he has done something right in his life and with his YouTube career. Go off, king. I've thought about another one of the YouTube darlings, Corey Kenshin, and for him, I think he should just sit down, lock himself in a room, and think about what his YouTube password could possibly be. But also, it's okay to leave the guy alone. Next up, let's check out one of the biggest names on YouTube right after Luca Levy, Mr. Beast. So for the king of YouTube, all that really matters is views and clicks. So I was thinking he makes a part 2 of one of his more successful videos. So instead of curing blindness part 2, he goes into a developing country where they're just starting to get internet and cures child depression. But the more I was trying to flesh out this idea, the more I realized that I don't know how the camera would pick up the change from depressed to non-depressed. And I don't know if he actually has the means to take on the mental health crisis that is around the world, so I thought maybe instead he could just like blind some orphans. I guarantee you would get views. Like a type of de facto Squid Games where the winner gets nothing and then the losers just get blinded, and because it's a developing country that's just starting to get internet, you could put the name of that country in the title. It's a whole new market to reach. It's genius. You're welcome. Sign me up. Next up, let's talk about Logan Paul. In my research for this video, I've come to find that Logan's been struggling to maintain a good reputation on YouTube for as long as he's been on the platform, so I actually think we should lean into this. So for his next scam, I had what I thought was a really good idea. I thought he could employ the tried and true sell a course, but then I realized his audience can't read. So I had to go back to the drawing board. So I'll ask you the same question I asked myself. What do kids need that also scams them and their parents? So I came up with school. No, that's not big enough. School isn't important enough anymore. He needs to tap into a large market while also showing kids something that they're interested in right now. Something like vlogging in Japan. Huh? What do you mean he did that already? Alright, if that's the case, I guess I got nothing. Sniper Wolf, Sniper Wolf, Sniper Wolf. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I ran the numbers, millions of simulations. The best thing you can do for your career right now is collab with me. I have a portfolio. I made a reaction video. It was really, really funny. I feel like we could both play off of our humor styles. I'll be the cool one, you'll also be there. And then we can each reach or leech a new audience to teach or preach our beliefs. Next, I want to talk about Ludwig, and I know that there's 100,000 ways to continue scamming people, old chap, so I'm gonna give you some advice outside of the platform itself. Don't do it. Do not continue playing League of Legends. It'll lead you down a dark, dark path. And I would know. I was Diamond once. When Diamond actually meant something. Humble brag. Now, KSI is an interesting one. Actually, not particularly, but what I do think he should do, and I guarantee that this will work, is re-release Thick of It. Like, exactly the same video, don't tell anybody about it, just post the exact same thing on YouTube. It will get clicks, it will get views, it will be talked about and memed on, more controversy, more eyes on you, just do it. You remember the legend that is Mark-ass Brownlee? Well, I've been thinking a lot about Marques Brownlee lately and how he should branch out from just tech reviews. There's a lot of popular things in the world that people like to buy. Why don't you start reviewing them? Some starter ideas are luxury clothes brands, supercars, Formula Ones, neighborhoods. And now it's time for the lightning round. Brace yourself. Up-and-coming YouTuber Cristiano Ronaldo can try his hand at sports betting content. I'm sure that would go well. Hassan might want to lean into the being absent from the clip he's reacting to by not reacting to anything and just eating food in his room, sometimes reading chat. Ethan Klein of H3 fame might want to ask Jake Paul for that time machine he invented to go back in time to the era of I'm being sued. Miranda Sings is cooked. Luca Levy should stop making shitty videos. I've run the numbers. This is the only way. Renaissance periodization should drop the scalp workout routine. Tommy Innit should admit the Vapely joke and just go all into selling harder drugs. To children, maybe. Pokemon should explain to Ludwig the dangers of playing League. Don't worry, you'll get views on this video no matter how boring the topic is. Jacksepticeye might want to consider becoming a forecaster of the future, a prophet of sorts. And Markiplier can continue doing whatever he is doing. And last but not least, I want to close this video off by talking about Hawk Tuager. No! Haley Welch. Talking about Haley Welch. This is a little controversial, but I think you need to lean deeper into the Hawk Tua joke. While retaining your current audience, you can bring in the world of falconry, which I'm sure is a very thriving community. And if all else fails, I'll say it again. I am very willing to come onto the Talk Tua podcast. After this video, I'm sure I've proven myself. And there you have it. Those are some ideas for what I think could be next for big YouTubers. I know I gave most of them a hard time, and I want to acknowledge and say right now that I'm by no means diminishing your success, YouTubers. I know how much time, effort, dedication it takes to reach the level of success that you did. And that some of you even deserve it. But to the non-big YouTubers watching this, if you did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If I didn't hit your favorite YouTuber, damn. Better luck next time. Maybe drop a comment down below if you'd like to see anyone else or any suggestions for future videos. If this video gets a combined 1 billion comments and likes, I promise you I will invent a new video game and I'll call it chess. Until next time, I know, super entertaining video. You're not half bad yourself. I love you. Goodbye.